Hi guys, welcome to the first What's New into the Store video of 2024. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, a lovely new year, and are attacking 2024 in the way we always do when the New Year's resolutions are fresh in the mind. So yeah, as ever, it's going to be taking you through the new stuff into the store this week. Releases are out as normal. We're now over this sort of Christmas holiday, New Year holiday shipping schedule. So everything for the time being anyway should be back to normal with videos hitting on Tuesdays, new releases and pull lists being ready for collection from Wednesdays. I think this is us right up until Easter, so we should be in good form for that. So yeah, just taking you through, as I said, things that are new into the store this week in terms of graphic novels, collections. We've got a couple of new comic boxes in this week as well, just to show off. So let's get cracking through it. So speaking of those comic boxes, so comic storage boxes, short boxes if you will. I have talked before about that I'm going to do some videos soon leading into sort of the basics of comic reading and comic collecting, you know, short boxes, long boxes, you know, bags and boards. All these things seem really, really simple if you're into this stuff. If you're not, maybe not quite so much. So I will be doing a video on those hopefully in the next week or two. So yeah, short boxes, you know, designed to hold roughly about 150 comics. Recently, the sort of plain white short box has been a little tricky to get, although we are working with a new supplier that have informed us they should be in stock in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We'll keep you up to date with that. But Marvel have been pumping out some really class printed boxes, so we've been getting those in. So new one for Wolverine with some glorious Greg Capullo art on one side. That's actually the variant for the latest issue, on which you'll see in the second video later. And then what we have is the other side is the cover A from the latest issue. So Lionel Yu for the art for that one. But one that's bound to excite quite a few regulars in this store. Secret Wars boxes. So yeah, we're into anniversary territory with Secret Wars, and they're going to be doing a new, basically the 12 issue run. They're going to release all this year, so one issue a month for the whole year, and you know, facsimile editions. So yeah, you're going to be able to collect Secret Wars in the single issue format. Of course, it's widely available as a graphic novel. Those comic collectors, we like this kind of stuff. But yeah, also to celebrate, they're doing some beautiful comic boxes here. You know, absolutely glorious. I have no doubt that those will probably sell out faster than any box we've ever had in this store, to be honest. But yeah, I'll take you through some graphic novels and stuff this week. So first up is the first graphic novel collection of the latest Avengers volume. So Jed MacKay's been on this, CF Villa on art. Quite a nice, big, chunky trade this. So it's the first 6 issues, but also Timeless #1 as well, which set up the Jed MacKay run. We have Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood. So this is part of the Marvel Anthology line, where they do sort of 4 issues, 3 stories per issue, different creators every issue. You know, to give you an idea of some of the creators involved with this one, you've got Jonathan Hickman, Benjamin Percy, David Pepose, Jim Zub, Ann Nocenti, Christopher Campbell, Paul Azaceta, Chris Bacalo, David Lopez, Leonardo Romero. Tons of great creators involved in that. And if you're a Moon Knight fan, well worth your time. Next up from Stephanie Phillips and Carlos Gomez is Rogue and Gambit Power Play. This was a 5-issue series, I believe. Lovely cover there as well. Yeah, this was the 5 issues from the 2023 series, all collected into one volume. Working on getting some older stuff back in stock, and always trying to make sure we have it on the shelves. First of all, Batman White Knight. We're huge fans of the White Knight run in general. You know, White Knight, Curse of the White Knight, Beyond the White Knight. This is your starting point right here with this beautiful hardcover. So this collects the entire run, which was an 8-issue miniseries in a glorious hardcover. Recently, Dark Knights of Steel Volume 2 came out, but I realized we didn't have Volume 1s on the shelf, so that has been rectified. So Volumes 1 and 2 are there. It's essentially Game of Thrones meets the DC Universe. Tom Taylor, Yasmin Putri, great stuff. So both volumes in stock now. I talk all the time about my love of Nightwing and DC's current range, so you'll see a couple of different volumes through here. We wanted, again, to make sure I had the whole run on the shelves. This is the latest volume, which takes you all the way up to issue 100. It's subtitled The Leap. Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo, just essential comics at the moment. Next up is the Deadpool Epic Collection, which is volume 3 of Deadpool. This collects the 1997-1998 run, Deadpool 10 to 20, Deadpool and Death Annual, Heroes for Hire 10-11, Baby's first Deadpool book, and Amazing Spider-Man issues as well. So, you know, I always talk about the Epic Collections, full color reprints, always collecting all the older stuff, great value for everything you get in there. Next up is a couple of volumes of Deadly Class. I may have mentioned this book before, you're probably bored hearing about it. Tough, I will continue to mention it. But yeah, this is volumes 3 and 4 of the oversized hardcovers. Of course, I've spoken before about Jan Generator, Rick Remender's Imprinted Image, always doing these glorious hardcover books. So that's 3 and 4 back on the shelf. 1 and 2 are on back orders, so we're hoping to see those back in within the next few weeks. Again, we always have all the trades on the shelf if that's your preferred method, but I just love these oversized hardcovers. A couple of new mangas in this week. So we have Blue Exorcist volume 28 coming into the store. We have One Piece volume 104 there. My Hero Academia Team Up Missions number 4 as well. A nice sort of alternative to the Epic collections. Obviously, the Epic collections are full-size comics, color reprints, all the rest. Marvel have been doing these ones called Mighty Marvel Masterworks. Now, we've got a good range of these in store already, but I want to try and make sure that we always have every available volume. They're essentially, again, full-color reprints going right back to the start with certain characters. So far, there's been Avengers, there's been Spider-Man, there's been X-Men, all the different ones. But they do them in a slightly smaller format. I almost wonder if they're going after the manga size crowd. But back in stock this week, we've got Silver Surfer Volume 1. So this collects Silver Surfer 1 to 4, as well as material from Fantastic Four Annual number 5 and Not Brand Ek number 13. We have then the first 2 volumes of Daredevil as well. I mean, I'll probably get accused of just biasness here because these are obviously my 2 favorite Marvel characters, Silver Surfer and Daredevil. But these were the ones that we were out of stock of. So, I mean, make of that what you will, clearly the most popular. But yeah, this covers Daredevil. So the first volume is Daredevil 1 to 11. And then you've got Daredevil 12 to 21. So again, great way of going back to the early days of Marvel, seeing the influence of these books, seeing, the golden age of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and all these guys really getting Marvel going there. Next up, another Rick Remender joint, this one in collaboration with Sean Murphy. Batman White Knight, Deadly Class. You can see some of my favorite creators on display here. A book called Tokyo Ghost. This was awesome. This was 2 volumes in total, 10 issues. There is a hardcover, but it's insanely hard to get, which is really, really annoying. But Tokyo Ghost is fantastic. It's a very prevalent title for these times. In this universe, people are so distracted by technology. They're constantly hooked to like eyepieces so that they can, look at social media even when they're walking down the street, and also pay attention to this, pay attention to that. Fantastic book. And yeah, again, humanity is addicted to technology. Brilliant stuff. That's due a wee reread soon, actually, for myself. Next up is Best of 2000 AD. So we're up as far as volume 4 now. So again, the whole idea behind these is making it really approachable for people to get into 2000 AD by printing some classic stories, showing you the variety of what's there. So it's not just Judge Dredd, for example. There's a Judge Dredd story in here, but you've also got The Order, you've got Hooligan's Haircut, you've got Cry the Werewolf. You've got creators working on this volume alone: Alan Grant, Steve Dillon, Pete Milligan, John Burns, an absolute plethora of great stuff in there. And again, a really approachable way to get into 2000 AD stuff. Next up is Secret Wars 2. Secret Wars 2 I've never read. I asked Keith about it yesterday, and he said it's great. He said the less said about Secret Wars 3, the better. I'll be honest, I didn't even know there was a Secret Wars 2. But Secret Wars 2, I've grabbed a copy of this for myself this week, and I'm definitely going to give this a read. Jim Shooter, Al Milgrom on art. I mean, I suppose Secret Wars was such a success that a sequel was inevitable, so hopefully it lives up to what came before it. And then just to finish off, as I said, I mentioned Nightwing, of course. The first volume's on the shelf, Kit Grayson. Second volume is Fear State, that follows directly on. It was a tie-in to a Batman event called Fear State, but it's still pretty essential on its own terms. After that, it's Kit Grayson, which is the crossover issues with The Flash, which was pretty cool, and also the Flash issue, the crossovers with Superman Son of Kal-El. You also got Nightwing 98, which is the one that we have on the floor over there. It's the one continuous story, one continuous image. So that collects all of that. And then we get back to the single issues with the Battle for Bloodhaven's Heart, and this is issues 92 to 96, which then leads on to the first one I showed off, The Leap, which is 97 to 100. A little sip of coffee. Yep, so that's all the stuff going into the store this week. Obviously, there's weekly stuff coming in all the time. We're going to make sure the store is so well packed this year, more choice than ever. We're working on a few things at the moment as well, working on 1 or 2 signings behind the scenes. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff hopefully on the horizon for the store this year. So as ever, thanks to everybody who continues to come through the doors. I hope you've enjoyed these videos. I hope they prove useful, keeping you up to date in what's coming in. Make sure to check back later. We will have the new issues this week video up as well. But in the meantime, hope you're staying safe out there. Hope you've had a great start to the new year, and I'll see you in store soon.